So you can probably tell by the name and a bit of the decor around this portal that this is another one of the sewer levels. This is the last of the sewer levels. Which means it'll be the last time we get to hear this music, which is actually pretty cool. So now we have one of those guys surrounded by the kind of cleaning robots, I guess? This pipe can be a bit tricky because there are enemies here that come right at you. They're also fairly fast. So you need to be ready to spin here at all times. They're even faster in the beta version, which is actually kind of worrying. Got a double set of barrels there. And as you can tell by a level named Hanging Out, there's going to be a lot of hanging in this one. Both this and Crash 3, the general theme was that there was only one sort of theme of level that had the hanging grates. Crash 3 had the Arabian levels for hanging. This one, it's just the sewer levels. Anyway, this area is really not all that bad. I still wish I can show what the mask invincibility is on the grates, because it actually is pretty crazy. Dodge past those things, and, well, we get a mask in here. And a big set of TNTs. Take cover. Don't need to clean up after them, though. They break all the boxes themselves. This one's going around in a bit of a circular motion. This one's just patrolling back and forth. These enemies on the grates are really not that bad to dodge around. This one's a little bit faster, though, so it's often a good idea to go into this safe spot here. And that one doesn't go all the way up here, so I guess I can get through there. This one's actually kind of fast, so let's just quickly go through here and jump down. Should mention that the areas below these platforms here are instant death because the ground is incredibly hot. And once again, we come to another set of these and another place heading down. Grab the crystal, hit this checkpoint, and you might notice something here. This area extends a bit further back. We'll be dealing with that shortly, but not quite yet. If I remember right, this is the bonus that has a lot of TNTs in it and nitros in it. I think. No, it's actually just this one. Something kind of interesting is that if you slide under that, yeah, any box that hits Crash's head will break, including the ones that normally require belly flopping. Okay. I thought I was going to hit that nitro for a second there. But yeah, this is pretty scary, but we can get through it just fine. This is also pretty scary. I like to get these three boxes up here from above. This is another of those bouncy box bridge segments. Okay, break that. This is a little boring, but I kind of like to do it this way. I'm gonna have to go for the first one in this set, which will break immediately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, they usually go in 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And last one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. Like I said, that was a little boring, but I like to play it safe there. There is a really crazy way you can get through that. You can actually do the spin, slide, cancel, and actually just spin right over those boxes and jump off just as they break. It is terrifying, but it looks really impressive when speedrunners pull it off. It was even more impressive in that one, So there's a speedrun in particular that I really love and would highly recommend to anyone who's interested in this game. It's one by Mr. Bean, 35,000 VR. I often forget the number there. But he just does, and I lost my mask there. But this is the end of the level anyway, and I actually need to suicide here regardless, so it was actually kind of fine that I did that. His speedrun of this game, where he gets 100% in about 1 hour and 20 minutes, is really, really awesome. And just the commentary is so informative, so I would really recommend checking that out. But anyway, he came to a bit of an interesting bit where his spin slide accidentally broke more boxes than he thought it would, and he panicked, but he still managed to survive. Anyway, if we head back from that checkpoint, which conveniently is right there, we can come down here. We come into a new area where we've got lava down here and a lot of lives, but is this area just for lives? Not really. Remember how I said earlier that there's only one place in the whole game that pulling your legs up with circle is useful? That's this place. So yes, there is a move in the game that exists solely for the purpose of one area. It's kind of weird that way. This last one is pretty quick, so you have to pull your legs up a lot here. Sometimes I like to do it here just to be safe, but now I think you can tell what's coming. Yep, another warp to the secret warp room. And yeah, these warps do add 1% each, like I said before, but this one is for yet another one of these. Level 27, Totally Fly. When I first found out about Totally Bear and Totally Fly in a magazine, I thought they were joking. They just did not sound like real level names. They sounded like an April Fool's prank, but they aren't. They're actually real. Like Totally Bear, I'll be leaving this for later on, especially since this level actually introduces a mechanic that we're not supposed to know about yet, so I'm just going to go back through here. Now this put us right in front of the next portal, which is one that I'm actually dreading. Digging it. This one is not nearly as bad as this one, but it's still probably up there in maybe the top 5 most difficult box gems in the game. Probably. So, yeah. You are probably going to see outtakes this time. I finished this one in one try, but I highly doubt I'll be able to do the same for this one. Something was actually mentioned to me in the comments, and I want to see if it's true. If it is true, congratulations, you just blew my mind, because I never knew about this in all the years I played this game. So apparently if you hold triangle while going up on one of these... Holy crap, this actually looks like it's true. Whoa, really? I never knew about this! I never knew you could refight bosses like this! I actually spent my entire childhood thinking that it was impossible to refight bosses, but you can. You know, it should have always been suspicious that in Crash 1 you can refight bosses, in Crash 2 you can't refight bosses, in Crash 3 you can. There actually is a way to refight bosses in Crash 2. It's just a little obscure, and I don't think anything in the game ever tells you about this. That is... really, thank you. I have learned something about this game that I never knew before. Oh, I guess you actually can exit out of them, too. Will this put me in Warp Room 2? Oh, I guess it will. That is actually really cool. Seriously, thank you. I never knew about that. That's pretty amazing. It's just pretty awesome how sometimes on YouTube people can just teach you things that you've never known about a game that you've played for most of your life. Anyway though, enough about that and on to digging it. This level is actually a pretty good level overall. It is pretty tough to get the box gem though. So as you can tell by the new catchy music, this is a new level type, and it features my least favourite enemy in the entire game. These plants. Their seed bombs are very random and have a pretty wide blast radius. You can only defeat them by belly flopping on them. The spikes on the sides of them aren't actually a threat unless you walk directly into them, so don't worry about that. But it's often difficult to react to the seed bombs like that because they can be very, very random in where they go. And they often have a longer range than you think they do. You might notice some gimmicks from the Boulder Chase levels coming back here, like those mines. We'll be seeing more later on. There's a reason for that. Then we have this thing, which I like to call the Angry Happy Face. It changes from angry to happy, and it just kind of moves sideways, diagonally, up or down. It's not that big of a threat in this level, where they're a lot slower. In the sequel version of this level, they're actually much faster, so we'll worry about that later. For now, though, let's grab these. Deal with another one of those. Not really that bad. So far, this level isn't too bad, but that will change later. We're really going to need that, and I thought I was going to hit the nitros for a second there. Because we have these electric fences from the boulder levels here. Depending on where this plant goes with its seeds, okay, that's good. So those electric fences are back. We also have these new electric fences that are time delayed. In the beta version, the electricity texture didn't quite reach the edges of the fence, but it does here. This is one of my most hated parts of this level. These double fences combined with a plant, it's very hard to get through here unscathed. It's difficult to see where the plant seeds are going. No, I'm not going to make it through the fence there. Not going to make it through the fence there either. Okay, good. Getting through there with both masks intact is excellent. Because that's going to really help later on this level. Don't come right at me, mask. Yeah, they kind of are a bit random in their directions, just like these plants are, but not nearly as irritatingly random. Sometimes the plants can double up on the seeds, like you'll get one seed falling right next to another one, and that's pretty tricky to react to. Anyway though, this bonus is our last breather before this level gets really bad, and we're gonna relish in it. So, just bounce on this twice to get 2 boxes here, make sure you get both of them, and these towers of boxes hide an interesting secret. It's not required for 100% at all, it's just a little bonus, but if you get a running start and hit the very edge of that, you can bounce on that, and grab a couple of extra lives up in this hidden area of metal boxes. It's, like I said, not essential for 100% completion at all, so don't worry if you don't get it, but it's a nice secret for people who know about it. So, those are all gone, good. And we're already at the life cap. Yeah, there's a reason for that. So, we're about to enter the true pain of this level. See that right there? There's a danger path in this level, but there's also a normal path. Both paths have boxes. You know what that means. It's time for the Pits version 2 Extremely Evil Edition. The main redeeming factor is this Danger Path song is amazing. It's definitely my second favourite Danger Path theme in the game next to the snow ones. I kind of lied earlier when I said the River Danger Path theme was my second favourite, but anyway. That segment of nitros there, it is actually not that bad if you accidentally hit them. In fact, sometimes intentionally blowing those up is a good strategy. Because we'll need to worry about that later. For now, we have bees. Bees are annoying. Bees plus plants is even worse. We're actually not supposed to know about bees yet, we're meant to be introduced to them earlier in the main level, but as we're doing the danger path first, we have to deal with bees here in their absolute worst capacity. So one cool thing is that you can actually spin bees. This is not necessary to complete this level normally, but if you're going for the box gem, it pretty much is. Now, here is where you can start backtracking, because that's all the boxes in the danger path. But, yeah. The danger path gem is a little further in, and to get it, we have to pass a segment of 3 plants and bees. I hate this part of the level so much. Oh, yeah, you gotta improvise a lot to get around those. The bees are very annoying. Grab that, and here is where we can start backtracking because the end of the danger path is just up there. I like to go quiet when backtracking here because you need to hear the buzzing of the bees as a cue as to when to spin. Sometimes the bees can snipe you right out of the hive point blank. They won't follow you beyond the hive though, like backwards beyond the hive. Next bee segment is a little further than this checkpoint. At the round platform here. Goodbye, bee. Get rid of another bee to be safe. I could run here, but it's going to be safe again. And the third bee segment is going to be after this. There's a boost pad around here. Yeah, you really need to memorize this area when backtracking. And take it very slow and steady, otherwise the bees will get you. And now we have bees plus mines. I don't like this part at all. With a mask, it's not as bad. Okay, good. That's all the bees. Now we just have the nitros. So, this part's a lot more terrifying if you don't have a mask. This is why I said it's probably a good idea to intentionally blow these up earlier if you have a mask. Just to save having to thread the needle here. Oh, there we go. Well, I had a mask anyway, that's fine. I was hoping I'd keep both masks throughout that whole area. I have actually done that death path with not losing any masks before. Like, I've actually gone in maskless and survived. But, yeah, I ended up being stupid later on. So, here's the main part of the level, which is thankfully a lot easier, but it's easy to get complacent after all that. This is where you're supposed to be introduced to bees. They do that classic platformer game technique of introducing you to a new obstacle in an area where there's not very much to worry about, and then gradually ramping it up. So here we now have bees plus mines. The danger path skipped us straight to bees plus mines plus plants. And here we have bees plus electric fences. This segment is actually pretty bad. You need to time this carefully. Uh-oh, and don't trigger the bees too early. This is one of those segments that actually becomes a lot easier if you know that you can spin bees. If you don't, it can be very tricky. Okay, that was close. Now we come to a bit of a breather area. If you spin in this soft ground, you dig under it. Hence the level's name. While digging, the plants can't get you at all. And you can spin from underneath them to take them out. This area I always found pretty fun. It's a place where, like, at the moment, you are pretty much invincible while underground. That will change later on, but for now, it's just a nice, fun area, basically. I used to really like this when I was a kid, the whole digging mechanic. In the beta version, this ground was actually colored differently, and it was a lot less noticeable. Anyway, here's another tutorial here. This area is supposed to teach you that while you're underground, the bees can't get you. And your underground digging move actually will get rid of them. While you're underground as well, the bees won't even spawn. Pretty cool, that. And here is where the danger path meets up with the main part of the level. Let's get the checkpoint and deal with more plants. And this is particularly oh, that's annoying. I have to be very careful now. So, this is annoying because one of those plants, you can't actually take it out yet. There's a reason for that. And here's a particularly irritating bee segment with mines. Spinning bees into mines is always annoying. So here we have these hammer guys. They're one of the few enemies that can actually hit you while you're underground. But there is no underground area here, so we don't need to worry too much. I don't like this part of the level at all. Oh no, not another plant. And not one of these guys. I like to think they're beekeepers, personally. Anyway, please tell me that I got the box gem. Thank you! Oh, finally! Thank you so much. Here, it's actually easiest to get because, believe it or not, after all that, there's a secret in this level. Yeah, they were that mean. Here I find it's best to just intentionally die. But I'm not intentionally dying to bees if I can help it. I'm just going to go in the pit. This checkpoint is thankfully perfectly positioned to get the secret. Remember how I said before, well, there's what happens if you get hit by the seeds. Yeah, their hitboxes are pretty annoying sometimes, and yeah, this is why I don't like the plants. So remember how I said earlier that we can't get rid of that plant? Here's why. We need to jump on it right here, and then belly flop. And this will warp us into the secret warp room, giving us the final secret exit. Which is for Road to Ruin. The level in the third warp room that we couldn't 100% on our first run. Oh, I'm gonna breathe an enormous sigh of relief after that. That level, recording that run of that level, took about 3 hours. No, that was exaggerating, but seriously, okay. Took about 1 hour, 40 minutes just to get that run. And Cold Hard Crash is even worse. Yeah. Oh my, I'm so glad to have that done. Anyway, I'll be doing Road to Ruin right next. Thankfully, this is nowhere near as bad. Two things I actually want to point out on the save screen here. Firstly is that the level icon for digging it actually shows the beta digging ground texture, which is kind of interesting. And secondly, our percentage went up from 59 to 64 from one level alone from that. 2 clear gems each is 1%, crystal is 2%, and 1 secret exit is 1%, so yeah. So now it's time to finally clear out Road to Ruin. This is actually kind of a weird one. Of all the levels to put a secret entrance in, I wouldn't think this would be one of them, because it's actually very short. These heads just follow you. And this is actually pretty hilarious. I will give the developers props for this. So this big area of boxes here, if you give in to temptation and belly flop on it, there's a TNT in the middle of it. Yeah, there it is. I did think that was actually pretty funny. I didn't actually fall for that the first time. I thought they probably would be putting a TNT in there, so I was suspicious. But I do like that. And a couple of platforms, and this is right where we started the original level. So, really, it's actually not that significant of a secret area. Now, you might want to pay attention to certain aspects of this level, Road to Ruin, because we'll be soon doing the sequel level, and it is actually kind of cool in what it does with certain aspects of this. So, pay attention to certain box formations. Anyway, we're back here. Guess I can say something about those lizard enemies. You're supposed to only be able to slide to defeat them, and that is true. The thing is, though, the game doesn't actually check where the slide hits them, so you can actually slide into their spiked sides or head, and it'll still kill them. Because, yeah, what the game is actually checking is if you did a slide, not where you actually hit them. So, logically speaking, the slide is supposed to defeat them because it hits them from below where they're not protected, but from an actual gameplay standpoint, it doesn't matter. Just kind of concentrating because I don't want to have to do this again. I mean, this isn't really that bad of a level overall. Thankfully, we can ignore the danger path this time because there are no boxes in it. That will change in the next level we have to do. Oh boy. Not looking forward to that one at all. And I wasn't looking forward to digging it. Digging it turned out to be actually even worse than I thought it would be. So back to this. I have actually tested that off camera. I believe you actually do need a wiggle jump for it, because a slide jump won't make that. Something kind of fun here, I guess. I don't think that will be possible on the NTSC version. That's the PAL version's bigger radius on the belly flop. Not really sure why they changed that of all things, but they did. It also makes the ruination bonus significantly easier, but we'll see that later. These heads can be a little tricky at times sometimes. I like to slide at the end, just to make sure that the very edge of their flames doesn't quite catch me. Don't spin that rat, otherwise you might set into the TNT before you're ready. 89 boxes. I think that is everything. Yes, it is! So that's the box gem in Road to Ruin. We have a double mask too, which is pretty cool. You know I'm perfectly fine with taking a double mask into Cold Hard Crash, in all honesty. So with that, we get the one thing that was stopping us from finishing off Warp Room 3 before. And we have another hologram.
Crash, Attention! Something is not right with his statements. Beware of the trick.
And it cuts out again. Something that I realized, though, it's pretty nice how in every warp room up to the 4th one, there's always exactly one level that you need to go back to with a secret exit from the next warp room. That's actually going to stop now, because we've actually completed the secret warp room entirely. So, we've got Digging It done, Hanging Out done, Road to Ruin done. Oh boy. Next time, it's Cold Hard Crash. Probably the single most infamous level in the whole game. This level, bear in mind there are going to be many outtakes for this one. If you thought this was bad, and you're about to see tons of outtakes for Diggin' It, this one takes everything that made Diggin' It bad and makes it 100 times worse. This and one more level, which is in the 5th warp room, may be the 2 hardest box jams in the entire game. This is usually, I think when I played this for the very first time, this was the last box jam I got. It's that bad. So, look forward to this next time. Their blast radius is a lot bigger than you'd expect. Also the bait of speedrunners, and the fact that if you do die to one of those, the death animation to them is actually one of the longest in the game. It's actually a bit weird how these things of all things have a unique death animation. It's also pretty bizarre. Hopefully I won't be showing it off. And I might go quiet here, because at these points is where you need to listen for the sound of the bees buzzing. Otherwise that happens! Good demonstration there! Crash has obviously a pretty big bee allergy. This time we have... yeah, see, the seeds go very far sometimes. That's... okay, well, I was going to say I was extremely surprised that didn't hit me, but then the second one did hit me. Anyway, we also have a new gimmick here. These electric fences that are kind of time delayed. I think there was something very similar in Crash 1, but they only fired a very small pulse of electricity instead of a whole 3 things of it. Those seeds get very annoying in their placement. I really love this song. When it comes to the whole digging theme, when I was a kid I used to associate this song with the Pokemon Doug Trio. Oh, that was really close. Right, I think we're approaching, I'm sure those were the last bees. And here is the part where I like to clear out the nitros ahead of time, because otherwise this gets really tricky. You've got to kind of thread the needle here. Yeah, I knew that would be bad. Next time, I'm clearing those nitros intentionally ahead of time. But we have new enemies. These seed bomb plants are probably, in my opinion, some of the worst enemies in the game. Once you reach them... That was a really terrible jump. The spikes on the sides of them will only hurt you if you walk into them directly. It's hard to jump on those spikes by jumping, but it's very possible. I have done it, at least once. This is not my first time recording this level, as you can probably tell. The hammers are one of the few things that can actually get you while you're underground. So, here that's actually not that relevant. Later on it will be. Really? Oh, I thought I was safe there. Warp Room 4, ladies and gentlemen. Massive difficulty spike. Grab the... That's fine. I'm going to have to backtrack through here anyway. Oh, that's persistent hitbox on those things. You have to time this pretty carefully. Knowing that you can spin the bees really help... Oh, that's not good. If you don't know about spinning... Are you kidding me? Oh. And technically speaking, we could start backtracking now, but the Danger Path gem is further in, and that means I need to get past a segment of 3 plants. That one didn't go down fast enough. I hate this level! Oh, that's bad. Yeah, when the seeds double up like that, you've got to react very quickly. Here, and bounce on the very edge of that. You can... I've screwed up getting that. If this run somehow ends up being the one where I get the box gem, I'm going to have to show getting this... Oh, I almost didn't screw up getting that the second time. But yeah, I'll have to show it in bonus footage. Basically, you can bounce up there to get a couple of extra lives. Not necessary for 100%, but it's still a fun little secret. Trust me, I've made that many, many, many times before, because I've got a lot of outtakes for this level. So yeah, I've got a lot of footage of that already. And this is bad. Remember when I said before that I like to intentionally blow up these nitros? This is why. You gotta... Oh! Second time I've done that! Ugh! I've spent an hour on this level already. Oh no, losing both my masks this early is not good. Often when I play platformers, do you ever get this feeling when sometimes a run of the early part of the level goes so bad that you're just like, okay, that's it, I'm already doomed, I'm not going to finish this. I get that feeling sometimes with levels like this. I get the feeling that if you lose 2 masks this far in, that's not a good sign. I like to keep a mask for the really bad part of this level, but anyway. Oh, no, I knew it! Ah! I knew I was walking forward too early there, but I still did it anyway! I'm an idiot! Oh, and I promised I wouldn't rage in this playthrough. Grab that, and here's where we can... Spin too late.